Okay, so if you've been following along with the readings that I've been doing on Blackpink, all of the readings talk about there's this man that's super mad at them in the industry, and everyone was like, it's YG. And I was like, I don't know if it's YG. Allegedly, it's YG. And so I wanted to see what's going on. I asked the cards spilled the tea. There is nothing worse than a man scorned, allegedly. With that being said, everything I say is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, and with peace and love, and let's go. Okay. Six of Pentacles, Hierophant, Four of Pentacles. Well, Six of Pentacles in the reverse position, that can be like an inequality of some sort. It can also be like feeling like you got the short end of the stick in some way. The Hierophant would be doing things differently. It can be like unorthodox. The Four of Pentacles in the reverse position would be like a loss of control, or trying to like grip onto something really tightly. Off the bat, this energy feels like YG, just because I keep picturing the YG logo in my mind. To me, it seems almost like they feel like they got the short end of the stick in the contract. YG has lost out on a lot of money in the contract, or if not the contract, has just lost out on a lot of money with the members going to other companies for their solo work. And I mean like a lot of money, but it's like if we got a copy of like the contract between YG and Jennie, and between Rose and Jisoo and Lisa, and it would be like, and a lawyer like went over it, they'd be like, whoa, like it seems almost like the contract that was drawn up between them and YG was really like unorthodox, almost like they got a lot of liberties that you wouldn't necessarily expect from maybe like a celebrity or an idol or something like that. So the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position, that can be like a loss of control or a loss of power in some way. Page of Wands, Strength card. Well, Page of Wands is like fast-moving energy. It's fiery, it's energetic. It's about the age range that Blackpink would be in. The Strength card in the reverse position would be either like a loss of self-esteem, a loss of strength, but it can also be like biting the hand that feeds you. And the Ace of Swords in the reverse position can sometimes be a miscommunication, not communicating. It can also be like your crown falling off, essentially. I kind of feel like YG feels, what's the word? Like they lost like some of the prestige in the industry because of the contract that they drew up with Blackpink. I think like I think just like as a fan, if you think about it, it's like YG would probably have liked to keep managing Blackpink's like solo activities and just like have Blackpink in its entirety. Now like the girls can kind of do what they want as themselves, and then they come together as Blackpink, and YG manages that. But the Page of Wands facing the Strength card, to me, this is gonna sound like so annoying, but it feels kind of accurate. It's almost like in my head, I keep hearing YG saying, I want to humble them. You know, like toxic men will say that sometimes, just like, I had to humble her. It's kind of like what I keep hearing in my head with like YG. And I think it's because YG is because these two cards can say similar things where it's sort of like a loss of power or like your crown falling off. And YG used to be one of the top K-pop groups, and they don't really have a lot of strong K-pop groups just because like Baby Monster is very new. Treasure has gone through a lot of restructuring. They don't have a lot of like diversity in their portfolio with like a bunch of other K-pop groups they could fall back on, and I think like they keep like losing money year by year, and like, you know, HYBE and like JYP keep outpacing them in that way. So they lost a lot of prestige. I think with the changes that have come with Blackpink's contract, it's made them very upset. But it's almost like because can sometimes be like biting the hand that feeds you, which to me, I feel like YG views the girls as almost like ungrateful. But it's like, I mean, everybody has opinions, but from my like point of view, like looking at that energy, it feels almost kind of like YG almost expects more of Blackpink as like, you know, employees than like maybe they deserve. Like they sing and dance, like what do you want? They're not gonna save your company. But it's almost like YG looks at Blackpink and is like, we made you and you like left. Like that's what it is. The High Priestess in the reverse position, the Five of Swords, and the Justice card. That can be like a lack of intuition or being disconnected from your higher self. That can be desiring a fight, wanting to go back in for a fight, and the Justice would be unjust in some way. And oh my god, this is weird. Okay, so the Hierophant, right? These two cards look identical to each other. This is about structure, and this is about like law, justice, etc. And then we also got the scales right here with like the scales right there. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, I do think YG is doing something in some way to hold back the member's career. I don't know, but there's something weird about how YG is moving and like their energy. It's giving Bitter X, if I'm being honest, with peace and love. So, this might turn into like a legal case at some point. This feels kind of far down the road, but it also could be right around the corner. If it's not, like something unjust is happening when it comes to Blackpink and YG. It feels sort of like YG is more so the perpetrator in this, and it might not be like by the book illegal, but just like if you found out about it, you'd be like, that's a little unfair, that's a little immoral. But and it's odd too because we're getting a lot of swords cards, which is like, oh, Before I speak, I'd like more information. A burden, Page of Swords, and then I kind of want more clarity on what the Page of Swords is. Backstabbing, I knew it. Okay, I feel like YG is like saying things about Blackpink or meddling in contracts, or because you have to think about like YG, I'm sure has music connections with like other like heavy hitters in the industry in Korea and like, you know, in like the Western market and all over the world, I would imagine. Like a producer who knows a guy who knows a guy. I feel like YG is pulling strings behind the scenes to make it like more difficult for Blackpink out of like bitterness or jealousy, or almost like so they come crawling back to YG like we couldn't do this without you. Like this sounds like a K-drama. I know this sounds crazy, but because we get a lot of swords cards. Swords is like communication. It can also be like fight, or like you really have to like, because swords is also very cold in sort of its affect and its emotion. It's like purely logical. It's purely strategy. This is a burden though, and it's facing the Page of Swords, which is like the Page of Swords, especially somebody who's almost like immature or like young, and it doesn't have a lot of like tact with how they say things, but they're very like quick moving. They like want things done, snappy. This can be like a lot of like, especially because it's air, so it would be like a lot of things circulating around. This card can be like literally like your back being backstabbed in some way. I don't know if the girls know about this or not. This is crazy. King of Swords. 10 of Cups, unhappiness, petty fighting. Oh, that's gonna, ooh, this could turn bad. Okay, you know what I'm seeing right now, and I'm not claiming this, also everything I say is all alleged, but it almost seems like this is going to turn into a legal fight, like an actual, like there are lawyers and courts involved. If it doesn't turn into that, it could turn into a very like nasty, like war. That's too big a word, but it's almost like, there's gonna be like a lot of animosity going on, because in the upper position this card is like petty fighting, so it would be like she said she didn't like my outfit, like oh she's a hoe, like kind of like whatever. If it's in the reverse position, sometimes it can indicate that it's like things are starting to become more serious and ramp up. I'm asking the cards if that's true essentially, or if I'm supposed to be reading in a different direction. Knight of Wands charging towards something. Knight of Pentacles, the reverse position, that could be a loss of money. King of Wands. King of Wands, that could be YG. Knight of Pentacles is like rushing towards something, trying to build it. Knight's cards are protective. This whole issue is based in money and ego and pride. I think YG is mad about something having to do with Blackpink regarding money lost, but it's like also pride and ego. It's like personal for some reason, and it's not just business. I mean, it is mostly business, but there's like an ego happening here too. Oh, they're gonna really try to prevent it from it. Okay, like whatever is happening right now, whatever YG is doing, whatever Blackpink is doing, let's say it's like a contract violation of some sort, you could take that to court. Like they have like grounds to like, a judge wouldn't throw this out as like, no, this isn't my problem. Like that could be taken to court. I don't think well, it's up in the air. Right now it's almost like YG doesn't want that to happen. Let's say it's YG that's like affecting Blackpink's contract in some way. They keep talking negatively about the girls and it's like slander, let's say, allegedly. So, like that could be taken to court. Let's say Lisa's like, I'm gonna sue YG. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, you're messing with my money. There's a lot going on that's trying to prevent that. Knights are typically very protective. So the Knight of Wands, very fast moving, like energetic, is sort of like no, like, but it's almost like not to be like a white knight, not to be like chivalrous, not to do the right thing. It's more so to just prevent it from becoming like a really big spectacle, like because you know like fans would like absolutely be like paying attention to that. Like people would not be on YG's side. That could mess with YG's other groups, mess with their money. And also you got the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse position would be like that would really affect their money essentially. And the King of Wands to me seems like YG doesn't want this to become a big thing, whatever they're doing, or maybe what Blackpink is doing. But it seems almost like Blackpink, I think just like what it seems like is YG is like petty and bitter about the fact that Blackpink got a really good contract out of it, and it was really just because Blackpink was like, we know our value and we want to like explore on our own, we don't want to do this with you, and YG was like, well, we made you. That's what it feels like, and it's almost like YG is bitter about that. The fruits of your labor is paying off. Ace of Pentacles, that can be like not receiving a reward, especially it can also be like the stopping or delaying of something financial. Oh. And that's like the peanut gallery, but that can also be like defending things. I kind of feel like YG is desperate. I feel like YG maybe has money problems behind the scenes, or maybe like out in the open. I don't know, I'm not paying that close of attention to YG. It seems almost like I think YG was betting on having different outcomes maybe with the contract. I really strongly believe that whatever is in Blackpink's individual contracts is like really like unorthodox. Like it strongly favors the girls more than it does the company. Thank you.